think you've got it. I don't think anybody else even comes close to this point. I realize it. I don't care whether anybody says, well, I've got this physical therapist, or I got this sports physician, or I got this nutritionist, or I got this trainer, or whatever. I've seen hundreds, I've seen thousands, and they don't do what you do. Period. It's different. And we're in healthcare. The purpose of our organization is to help people. We call it creating internal and external wealth, internal personal wealth. And so taking care of people and enriching lives is a big part of what we do. Whether we do it as a capitalist, for-profit, domestically in the United States, or whether we do it philanthropically in Africa and Haiti and countries like that. Healthcare is just a basic foundation, just like food, water, shelter, and clothing. And so that's why we're in the business. We're in the business of enriching people's lives. And if you don't have a good, healthy mind, body, soul, life's is not so cheery and rosy. And so it's really been fascinating for me watching what ThinkFit365 does, is because we do a lot of surgery and a lot of physical therapy. And it's been interesting as I've watched what you've done, and it's with a huge emphasis on injury prevention. And I'm thinking, why is it that some young 20-something-year-old in the middle of the country in Kansas City has really now got breakthrough technology, intellectual property, if you will, to prevent sports injuries when everybody in healthcare should have been doing this years and years ago. So not only have I seen it, witnessed it, watched it, but I've experienced it myself. I'm 59 years old, and it's been I like to work out and run a lot, lift weights, and I've not been able to do that, the upper body workout for a long time, until you showed me the correct way to lift, and for the first time in 3 years now, I can actually do bench press. So not only have I seen it in my own children, I've seen it in other athletes before working out with you, but you showed me yourself, and I've also shared that with other people as well, as recently as last week, and how they're just saying, my goodness, why has nobody ever, they've never read a book on this, why has nobody ever told me this, why have we never seen it? Not a doctor in the world, not an orthopedic surgeon has ever said anything to me about it, and I've got thousands of those as business partners. So I think you've really got something. A professional athlete still has 2/3 of his life to live after he quits in athletics. I don't care whether you're a high school athlete or whether you're a fourth grader playing soccer, or whether you're a collegiate athlete or professional athlete. It's all going to come to an end at some point, and it's usually sooner than later. The number one thing for me was sports. It's not about the sport. It's not about sports in general. More about their head and their heart, and less about their body. I know one of the first things that you said was, anybody can train them, anybody can, lift weights with them or run. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think anybody can do it, but not everybody can do it like you guys are doing it. But true, anybody. There's all kinds of people out there that can train, and coaches and so forth and so on, and show them how to lift weights. But I think you possess something very, very unique in that regard, and it's so much better than what everybody else is doing. But more importantly, what you're able to do with their head and their heart and their mental discipline, their emotional discipline, for me is a lot. That's the differentiator. I think that's what in business we call whatever you have, you got to have a secret sauce. I think that's your secret sauce. There are some, biomechanics associated with the way in which you train, and the core and the hips and the ergonomically, the way you teach them to lift weights and all of that. So there's some secret sauce there, but the biggest secret sauce is the head and the heart. Talked about prevention. And so when I see your system, strength combined with range of motion, the light bulb just went on for me and said, what are we doing? Why is this not being expanded on and taught? And if you think about from a very simple, even people who don't know anything about healthcare, is increase the range of motion so that the tears you don't come as close to the tear, and along with that, combine that with strength. The number of injuries that you could prevent and therefore change people's lives and impact their life and enrich their lives so much down the road. And that's even without getting into the nutritional part of what you do. And so, again, a lot of people think, well, it's a focus on the body, but in order to be live a happy life, the body has got to be a part of it. I think you've got it. I don't think anybody else even comes close to this point of realizing. I don't care whether anybody says, well, I've got this physical therapist, or I got this sports physician, or I got this nutritionist, or I got this trainer, or whatever. I've seen hundreds, I've seen thousands, and they don't do what you do. Period. It's different.